Hi, this is Sarah from sarayip.com, Facebook, The Numbers Queen, and Instagram, sarayip1111 with your November 2023 forecasts. Wow, it's almost over. Oh my gosh, not the world, of course, just this year, and lots to talk about. So if you enjoy this forecast, be sure to comment 999GROW below, and I'll send you a little bit of love. So we are in a 7 universal year of healing the crown chakra and a 9-month in November. What does it mean? So the biggest thing, I guess, is that we are at a finish line energetically. This is all about rewards, past life and historical healing and justice. It's very much about the big picture. Where does the world affect you and vice versa? So really key theme is spiritual courage versus cowardice. My invitation to you is to consider what dream will you grow this month now that you know you're infinite. That's right, you're a soul. Surprise. Now remember that leader is an anagram of the word dealer. So we can dance with life, we can meet it, or we can basically hide and avoid strife. But as I'm sure you're aware, that just creates more confusion, more chaos, not just for yourself, but for your people and for the planet. So look, it's very rough times. We know that. You just have to turn on the news or go on social media. So right now what we need are curious hearts, the people who are going to ask really bold questions, who are going to look for those team solutions. And they are the people that the world needs more than self-proclaimed healers or saviors. As I've written in my forecast, hogging the stage is so last century. If you feel like you're being preached at, this is a sign to run, or at least put your hand up and say, can I have a turn next? So look, last month, October, it was an 8-month. It was bringing a big preview of next year, 2024. And I do have a forecast running really soon. So the first call will be on the 11th of November, really powerful day. I'll talk about that more in a sec. But as I was mentioning, October was this 8 months. So it's all about bringing awareness to where you have habits, relationships, or even where there are systems around you that prevent you from growing up, that basically keep you small, keep you fearful, keep you disempowered. And so it's all about recognizing, like, where do you have, I guess, addictions or obsessions that it's time to ditch. So November gives us that opportunity. Yay, I got goosebumps. It is the old soul. You just have to look at the number. It's got a big head. They tend to think they know everything, and they often do. So it does have that big brain, and literally it brings everything to a head. So this is a month to embrace your humanity, to embrace others, like literally. Lots of hugs this month are important. And it's also about dissolving illusions. Nines very much teach us how to die, how to exit, how to move forwards, even when we feel we can't. And then we're going to have a lot of this new beginning energy coming from December 2023, which is, of course, a 1 universal month for rebirth. So what were you doing in late 2014, especially around November? This might be something to consider if you're watching this forecast. You're obviously interested in, what's going on in the world and how you can be of service and how you can succeed. So basically, we live in these 9-year cycles as a planet, and also in numerology. There are 7-year cycles too, but I prefer the 9-year cycles, each to their own. So do have a think about that, because you are just going into the next quantum leap now. So let's have a look at the tarot cards. All right, so this year has 2 ruling cards. So it has the Chariot card, victory despite obstacles. It's about bringing together your resources, bringing together your team for that common purpose. It's not easy, but it's epic. There's also this kind of shadow side of the year, which is the Tower. Looks a bit scary, hey? And yeah, look, this has certainly been happening in the world too. And this is about basically, I guess, the collapse of a lot of structures, a lot of belief systems, a lot of places where perhaps we've given a lot of energy to something, and now it's time to basically renovate big time. It's also about coming back down to earth to the simple things that truly make you happy and wealthy and wise. So what about November's tarot cards? So this is the Paulina Tarot deck, in case you're wondering. So there's a couple of cards we could use here with that 9 energy. So I've got the Hermit, which is turn yourself on, basically. Turn the lights on, explore the meaning of life. At a time like this, really understanding our purpose and how far we've come can help us to stay centered when other people are basically losing the plot. The Hermit is not afraid to take some time out or to say, I need some time to think, and therefore they're able to stay, I guess, in their highest potential. We've also got this card at play, which is probably a quite potent card for November. Now, again, people tend to be scared of the moon, and it's interesting, of course, we tend to idolize the sun, which is the card after this. I think it's important to examine that. I like the nighttime. I'm quite a yin loving person, if you know Chinese medicine. So, some people see this as a month where there'll be a lot of fear, doubt, lunacy. We do have a lot of eclipses happening right now. It's certainly making people a bit, jumpy. But these are also massive opportunities for like very rapid healing and dissolving of illusions, as I talked about before. So, some people see chaos here. I think for me, I see opportunity. I see an opportunity to, to really relieve your fear of the dark and to understand that you truly are infinite and there is nothing to be afraid of except, Facebook scrolling. So, yeah, definitely a month to allow yourself that time and space to collect energy rather than scatter it. So a lot of 1111 star seeds, and that could be you, especially if you see a lot of repeated numbers. So we have come to Earth to bring the future forwards. And we often are a bit reverse, a bit eccentric, a bit quirky. And so, yeah, at times when everyone else is in crisis, often we are thriving. It's weird, I get it, but you're in the right place. Welcome. And so again, yeah, just that theme, inner work pays off right now. Also, just be careful of where you're still being ruled by superstition. If you ever hear yourself say things like, I would never, or I can't believe, that could definitely be something that needs to be questioned because it could be holding you back. You are so worthy of joy. So who's in the spotlight all of 2023? It's the 7s, or anyone who has really strong 7 energy, or who sees 777. You're in demand. What about in November? So this is the big month for those with 9 life paths and 9 energies. How do you know if you are one? It's pretty easy. You can just use the calculator on my site under Find Your Life Path, or just trust the numbers you see. For example, if you see 909, 999, 911, guess what? It's not just angels waving at you. Very often it's actually your numerology calling you and reminding you that you have some specific missions and projects to accomplish. And so I have to laugh because as I wrote this forecast, I saw 999 and 911, and I felt like it was just a little high five. Woo! So don't be surprised if that happens after you watch this. What do they mean? So 909 is often seen by those with a 9 life path. It's pretty obvious there. 999 is interesting. So it can be very much you're at the end of, often quite a difficult cycle in your life. I've certainly been seeing that recently. And it's a lot about letting go of inhibitions. It's interesting. I saw it a lot before I just got back on stage. I started doing comedy and improv again. I mean, in the end, this whole idea of leadership, it's about performance. And so I absolutely encourage you to also get on stage, whatever that means for you, because otherwise the world will never shift, until, I guess, sensitive people speak up. You might also see lots of 911 this month. So obviously that has a lot of meanings in numerology. It's a global healer code, and I personally see it in the charts and in the repeating number observations of those who save lives, also people who work in the health sector. So definitely like doctors, nurses, healers. So if you know a 9 life path person, feel free to tag them or send them this. They may well thank you, because 9s rarely ask for help. They really appreciate those with initiative. And I have a bit of a joke that if a 9 calls you, drop everything, because it could be 20 years before they do it again, and admit that they really are stuck. So yeah, we do love our 9s. It's just that they are almost always the helpline rather than the recipient of love. So what are some big dates coming up? Okay, well, obviously, the 11th of the 11th is massive, Remembrance Day. And also, you know, for star seeds, a lot of us get a lot of upgrades that day. I know personally I've always had enormous changes come in then. And I am going to start my forecast series that day, and I'll put a link below, and you're welcome to join us. It's always a really amazing experience. I'll do a separate video about that soon. And that really will set you up perfectly for 2024, which is a universal 8 year. So the whole thing with 8 energy is nothing, nothing, everything. So it's all about timing. Trust me, you definitely want to watch the forecast or get a copy of the replay. It will help so much. You'll definitely pull less of your hair out. Okay, so the 12th and 13th of November is a new moon. That's that sweetness, innocence, new beginnings. 26th, 27th will be the full moon. 29th of November, I have cheekily called this Starseeds Day, probably because I'm a 2911, but also I just often meet people with those numbers as a birthday or around them, and they really definitely seem like that age of Aquarius type ambassador. So if you'd like to connect with me, as I mentioned, please jump on my call on the 11th of November. I've got an early bird special going right now. And as soon as you sign up, you'll get a beautiful money meditation called 5 Golden Coins that I've tested about 200 times now with clients. We've gotten amazing results. Also on the 25th of November, you can come and learn numerology from me. In the Patreon group, we are diving into the templates that I use to do readings so that people can learn to do their own. We're doing pinnacles and challenges, which are the chapters and seasons of your life. Super interesting, and just comes from your date of birth. Who would have thought there was so much encoded there? I just really appreciate all your support. I know a lot of you have been watching my forecasts throughout the year. So thank you so much for the love and support that you send me and my family. I am available for readings, workshops, classes, talks, all those things. And I just wish you a very deep, very healing, very powerful month. Next year is going to be a whopper for humanity. I hope that I will be able to catch you on the forecast or in other serendipitous ways soon. So thank you so much. This has been Sarah from SarahYip.com. Take care. Bye.